self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, stay like a bee. On February 25, 1960.
Well, news just in from the National Bureau of Statistics this Monday afternoon is that Nigeria's real GDP grew by 3.19% year on year in quarter two of 2024. Yes, now the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics says on Monday that the Nigerian real gross domestic product grew by 3.19% in the second quarter of 2024 as against 2.98% in the first quarter of 2024. The report disclosed further that the growth rate is higher than 2.5% recorded in the second quarter of 2023. Nigeria's GDP report by the NBS 2024 Q2 reveals that the GDP performance in the second quarter of 2024 was driven mainly by services sector, which recorded a growth of 3.79% and contributed 58.76% to aggregate GDP. Well, this looks pretty good. In terms of the share of GDP, the industry and services sector contributed more aggregate GDP in the second quarter of 2024 compared to corresponding quarter of 2023. Now, in the quarter under review, aggregate GDP of basic price stood at 60.93 million naira in nominal terms. We'll bring you up to speed with the breakdown of these figures in our subsequent bulletins at 7 p.m. and, of course, at 10 p.m. on the flagship bulletin. Let's talk some markets. An equities trader, Rostrum Investments and Securities Limited, Mr. Dele Sanusi, joins me to continue the conversation. Mr. Sanusi, Happy New Week to you. How is the week starting at the exchange? It looks good, bright, and attractive.
Thank God that market gains will still move on. The market closed the green side, and there are so many expectations that we could see expect much during the week before the end of the month.
What do you think is responsible for this? When you say we should expect, what stocks do you think, or do you think are driving this market at this very particular time?
Presently, if we look at the oil sector, they are good because some of them, like if we look at the Oando they are able to, to finalize their deal with Agip. Not only that one, if we look at Total too, it posted about 16 naira EPS for the half year. And all the other oil sector stocks, they have been performing very well. Not only that one, agricultural sector also, they have been performing very well. And like you look at the likelihood of Okumu today, we gained almost 10%. And if you look at the results of the Presco also, they are so fantastic. So not only that one, towards the end, the month will be ending this week. And it is not fast there because many companies want to close their records, their book high. So we should be expecting, activity, activity before the end of the month.
In losers today, I see the likes of Transcorp Power. That looks, seeing that share on the negative side, it looks very strange. But let me ask you that, what do you think would actually be the outlook of the entire market as we start in the week in green? We are wrapping up the month of August this week.
As I've said before, like if you look at the stocks that you mentioned at Transcorp Power, Transcorp are not offer for a very long time, and the investor is need to wait to look at the price that is suitable for them to enter. Now that the price has a little bit priced, I believe investors want to come in and to mop up the stock. Not only that one, as I've said before, this week the market, the month will be ending this week. So you should be except. So because of what we are moving toward the end of the month, it's going to have so many activities that it can push market in a positive territory.
I must thank you so much for your time, Mr. Dele Sanusi. Do enjoy your week.
Thank you.
Major shares markets were uncertain today while the dollar and bond yield sagged ahead of inflation data that could pave the way for rate cuts in the United States and Europe. While Wall Street braced for earnings from AI dull Nvidia, Europe's broad stock 600 index was flat in early trading. While MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares added 0.5%, S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq futures were both slightly low in slow rate. UK markets were closed for a holiday. Video stocks is up 150%, accounting for around a quarter of S&P 500 in 17% gain. In mixed Asian stocks market, Japan was a notable underperformer, with the Nikkei closing 0.66% lower as the stronger yen pressured export stocks. The U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration said 2 astronauts went up to the International Space Station on Boeing Starliner and are set to come home on a different spacecraft next year. NASA's administrator, Mr. Bill Nelson, said astronauts Barry Wilmot and Sunita Williams, who performed the first crew test flight for Starliner, will return in February 2025 on the SpaceX Crew 9. The pair took off on what was planned to be an 8-day mission on June 5, but will now spend around 8 months in the orbit. Boeing and SpaceX were both awarded billion-dollar contracts by NASA to provide commercial space flights for its astronauts.
NASA has decided that Butch and Sonny will return with Crew 9 next February, and that Starliner will return uncrewed, and the specifics in the schedule will be discussed momentarily. I want you to know that Boeing has worked very hard with NASA to get the necessary data to make this decision. We want to further understand the root causes and understand the design improvements so that the Boeing Starliner will serve as an important part of our assured crew access to the ISS. I have just talked to the new Boeing CEO, Kelly Ortberg. I have expressed this to him.
The Dutch data protection watchdog says ride-hailing platform Uber has been fined €290 million with about $324 million in the Netherlands for sending personal data of European taxi drivers to the United States in violation of the EU rules. The regulator said the transfers were serious violations of the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, as they failed to protect drivers' information. The chairman of the Dutch Data Protection Authority, Mr. Ed Wolfsen, in a statement said the e-hailing service provider did not meet the requirements of the GDPR to ensure the level of protection to the data concerning transfers to the USDPA, said Uber collected sensitive information of European drivers, including taxi licenses, location data, photos, payment details, identified documents, and in some cases, even criminal and medical data of drivers. Uber spokesperson Mr. Caspar Nixon said the company would appeal the fine. And crude oil prices extended gains today on fears of a major spillover in fighting from Gaza's conflict into the Middle East could disrupt regional oil supplies. While approaching U.S. interest rates quotes lifted by global economic and fuel demand outlook, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude sells for $75.68, an upward margin of 1.16%. Brent also experienced an uptick of 1.06%, sell at $79.86 per barrel. Bonnie Light is down 2.84%. To sell at $78.62 per barrel. And for the OPEC basket, dealers are offering $77.03 with a downward price margin of 2.11%. That's our show today and for the start of the week. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Stay safe, get busy, make some cash. I'll see ya.